place where we can go tonight. The rhythm will make it right, where everyone is happy and the sun will shine all night. We could have a good time, let everybody sing. Why don't you let yourself slip out of control? We could have a good time, let everybody sing. Get your feet up on the floor. So when the world feels dark and friends seem hard to find, you know how to light a spark, just to let your worries unwind. When you're down, there's just one way to go. Let us ascend tonight. Everyone could be so happy and the sun will shine all night. Have a good time, let everybody sing. Why don't you let yourself slip out of control? We could have a good time, let everybody sing. Get your feet up on the floor.
Good morning, everybody, and happy National Coming Out Day. It's a thing that you have to deal with when you are of the LGBTQ. And gosh, dog it, now I have the rest of the alphabet up there that have been added on to that, and it's covered up by the live and viewer count. So I don't have them memorized. But the other, the thing is, like, I just had this thought right before I went live that I never would have dreamed I would be going live. Well, I'm going live all the time like I do anyway, but going live about being gay, I mean, that's it just puts you out there. I didn't come out till I was in my late 30s, like late 30s. So I know the difficulties. So let's just say hey to everybody. Welcome to our newest member, Masshole Sarah. Welcome. We got to dance to that. We got to sing and dance and all that stuff. So, woo! I love memberships. I love y'all coming in and wanting to be part of my family. I call it family because, and I hope nobody takes offense to that, but kind of, because of the gay, y'all, we're family. It's a community in our minds, I guess, of people who are part of the LGBTQ and the other letters that we support each other, and we know things that other people aren't knowledgeable or don't know. Is like you know it, you hear things, but we know it. Like with any other group of people who have been marginalized, we all have, there are a lot of those kind of things, and so we know. Hey, Pocket Sin, Nightmare. I have never in my whole life seen this before. How you doing today, girl? I say girl. I think you're a girl. Hey, Tracy, Air Force vet, welcome. Yes, and we are going to, if anybody wants to come up and talk about um, their own coming out story, or like if your child came out to you, or somebody you're really close to and that you want to talk about it, I will allow people to come up. And also you can say things in the chat. If you want to come out on this live stream, you can. I am not here to push anybody to do anything because that's a totally a personal decision. I'm just here if you want to. Hey, Daisy Brown. Oh, yeah, Air Force vet. I mean, well, I just, 10 years ago, my aunt told me that I was confused. Wow. Okay. I'm confused. I was 50 something, but I was confused. I was just like, "What? I'm confused about Oh, and it was Air Force vet, and look, I mean, I didn't even come out in the '80s, and I was born in 1960, so, I was, late 30s before I started even accepting it myself, and I started dating someone, and so slowly I'm coming out, but as far as, like, no, I've never even gone and sat down with my parents and said that. It's just I know that I mean, they know, it's just I don't wanna do it. Um, and then my one aunt, because I thought she was the only person who loved me all growing up, and for her to just go, "You're confused." I wasn't 12, I wasn't 12. Um, how you doing, Broken Justice? I appreciate you being here to mod. 71, Serena, Amber, Sizzle Silva, Chicken Feet, SA, Connie, welcome. I know you're new to me, and I appreciate you being here. Appreciate everybody being here. My oldest daughter finally came out 2 years ago, struggling it for 42 years. Thank you for telling me, Beatlemaniac. Yes, it is like, I'm not the oldest that ever came out. People come out in their, 60s and 70s. Some people die with a secret. Um, some people live their whole life in hiding. I mean, I've told y'all about this man who, I haven't talked to him in several years, but, I consider him a friend, and, I mean, we were pretty close friends. He was the choir director, and I was on the little praise team at a church, and he came out to me via an email, or did I come out? I don't know. I think maybe I came out to him. I don't remember. But he was married, and I know his wife, and they were married, but he wasn't living with her. He was living with his husband. They weren't legally married, and I don't know if they are now, but it wasn't legal in Arkansas until it's been within the last 6 or 7 years. I'm not exactly sure. Hey, Kerm the Frog, welcome. Go see a shrink, yeah, because a shrink is really gonna bring you out of that, thing that you struggled with your whole life and finally accepted and finally wanted to go talk to somebody about it or, be who you are, and then you get stuff thrown in your face. It's not a joke. Um, I don't expect special treatment. I just don't think that people who are different in ways that they have no control over, like you don't have any control over it. Don't make fun of that. Like I don't make you don't make fun of people's facial features or their thumb or their, you know, hey, X amount of words. Oh wow, Connie, great. You didn't know? A lot of times when people come out, the people they come out to are like, well, we already knew. I mean, I've had people tell me that, and I came out to one friend after I moved to this town. I have so much admiration for her and everything, and I came out to her one day, and she was like, "Well, I had an inkling." So, most people kinda know. Granny raided in the house. Oh, good. Thanks, Granny. And Granny, I appreciate you being conscious that I had this live stream scheduled here for a few days and that you didn't go live over me. I appreciate that. I heard you say it a few times that, you wanted to end it because I was going live and it's mutual respect. We all try to do it. Well, most of us try to do it in this little community, and sometimes it can't be avoided. I started to go live yesterday, and right when I went to post it, or went to so once you post like through StreamYard, then you got to go to your YouTube and do all these little things. And I noticed that CJ was going live, and so I bumped mine to start a little bit earlier because she was going live. Would have been, pretty early into mine, but I just moved mine up a little bit. Yeah, Remy, thank you and welcome. Froggy, welcome. Everybody coming in today. Yeah, they might be a little confused, chicken feet. Like, how can somebody in their, um, somebody who actually loves somebody and they are in their, let's see, well, I don't know how old my aunt was at that time, 70, I don't know, and tell me that I'm confused. Granny Raid, hey, Heather Leanne, hey, Angela, Jennifer Daig, Hey, Granny, I do appreciate you, girl. Um, I know you were on a roll and could have gone on, and I just want to make sure that everybody knows that there are good people in this community, and while none of us are perfect, and we say things that piss other people off, and we get mad, and you know, we're human, and but we do. Some of us look out for each other, so that's where we are. Hey, Penny, for your thoughts. Jill, Christine W, Angie Brooks, Froggy, Tracy, Caddy, Texas Gal, Gary, Batgirl, Shot of Poison. Wow, these people coming in. Thank you. Julie, Angie Brooks, Lotus Flower, and let's see, Christine, I said, Sizzle Silva, Steph B. Oh, wow, Steph. Proud mama. Well, see, like I'm glad. Did you if you have like a coming out story with any of those, let me know. I don't know how it happens in families like that, but which makes you think that it's something to do with our genes. Because I mean, you know pretty early on. I mean, I didn't know that, but I knew I was different and I knew something was odd. In fact, well, just a few years ago, I met up with some people and some all women and they all had their, beautiful long hair. And as soon as there were like, I don't know, like 5 or 6 of them and me, I had this weird feeling. I felt like I was different, like physically. I don't know. It was a weird thing. I don't really know how to describe it. But I just felt like the odd man out with these, I don't mean to say man, but you know what I'm saying, with these people, and, it's just the stereotypical, "Well, you've got short hair and hedgehog and stuff," and also that particular, person that calls me hedgehog told me to go back in the closet and sing. So and that's another reason why I wanted to do this today is because I realize that there are people out there who want to just throw that in your face. They want us to feel bad about ourselves because we're different. We're no better, we're no worse. We're just people. And because however we were created, whoever created us, God, some people don't believe that that's how we were made, but we don't have any control over, how tall we are, how big our feet, nose or ears are, or how, we just don't have any, and we don't have any control over physical attributes. But I'll never forget that. I was just, meeting up with some people through another friend, and here were these essentially all straight women who I just felt different. And this is like way after I, had been out and everything. It was just weird. I remember how that felt. Hey, Tracy, I mean, none of them even know unless they have an inkling. Hey, Batgirl. Yeah, I'm happy to see so many people coming in to talk about a topic that isn't, it can be decisive and people are like, "Ooh, you're gay," and they don't want to have anything to say about it. And so, or, to do with you or anything. Hey, AT, Elabella. I don't know if I've said hi to everybody. I know I probably missed you. If I did, y'all, I'm not mad at anybody. It's not intentional. I have people ask me that sometimes. I think people should take it serious when women come out as they think it's just experimenting. Yes, yes. Uh, I know she did, Jennifer. I know. That's what I'm saying. I appreciate that. Oh, AT's a new member. Welcome. Let's do some music. Woo woo. Woo! We got another new member. Welcome to the family. Welcome to the family. AT, so glad to have you here. And let's see, Tilly, Granny Raid. Um, I'm always getting in trouble for being behind in chat. I'm just wanting to say hi to everybody. If you say something in chat that you are wanting me to see and I don't see it, say it again, put it in all caps. I know it was chicken feet in the in the olden days. And well, before Ellen came out, that was and I've spoken about that here before. That was very, very helpful for me. That was around the time I was starting to come out. That's why I had a certain okay, Anne Hayes, she was kind of loopy, and has done some had done some weird stuff. In fact, actually driving her car into a house and ended up killing her recently. But I had a certain not attraction or affection, but, respect, I guess, because of the way she was with Ellen when Ellen came out, and they were in a relationship while Anne Heche never claimed that she was gay. She was in a relationship with a woman and had a relationship with another woman after that. I don't know if she considered herself bisexual, I don't know. I don't think she ever said that, but, it was very helpful to me to see somebody in uh, in the eyes of the public come out like that, and also, since, in the last I would say in the last, less than 10 years, really, there are so many gay, trans, bisexual, there's just a lot of characters in television shows now that you used to wouldn't see. I mean, some of the shows that I watch, they're just mainstream television, but they have, lesbian couples with kids, gays, trans people. I mean, it's like some of them have more than one of these, uh, families on their show, and it's just very helpful to people. And I'm sure I would know in my heart of hearts that there are people who are like, "Quit cramming that down our throats. We don't wanna see that." But the thing is, it's there. If you don't see it, just because you don't see it and don't wanna see it, doesn't mean that we're not out here, that there aren't people who love each other out here who are gay. So, "Oh, it's your lucky day. Yay. Granny's watching. I grew up with relatives where the daughter identified as a boy and the boy is a girl. It was then I real Yes, Granny's watching. It can be. And these kids that know when they're little now, I'm not gonna argue anything about at what age a trans person should be able to start having, hormones and things like that. That's not for me to decide. I know that there's, so much controversy here in Arkansas about kids, they tried to ban kids from being able to go to doctors that actually handle, the things that go along with being trans, and I think they got that overturned. But yeah, people in the South, they're just not cool here. Hey, Welsh. Yeah, it's just it's part of who I am, and it's not something that I could live my life totally straight and, never date or anything like that, never date another woman or, that kinda thing, but it wouldn't be 100% me, and, I would be walling off a part of myself, and I just don't wanna do that. Hey, Bonnie Patty, welcome. Doo, 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 Connie? Thank you. Yes, I mean, now, do I have issues with it still? Like, are there times when I'm like kind of embarrassed? Have I had people even in the last 3 years since I moved? Well, I don't know. These people really didn't like me, and well, there's a lot of people who don't like me, I guess. But yeah. But hey, Sammy, and Jote, what are y'all's gender? Hey, howdy there, Barb. Oh, Granny sent you over, cowboy? Well, welcome. Hey, Daisy. Daisy Duke's in the house. I know. Everybody says I'm always behind. Shut the F up, Donnie. People should be able to express their sexuality and not be judged. But yeah, and I'm not trying to talk anybody into being gay or, that's a misconception that people, when they talk about it or come out, that you're trying to make other people be that way. No, no. I just want to be here today to be supportive. Oh, you did, Sammy? I just want to be here today and be supportive of people. Roddy, are you gonna be able to come talk to us? Roddy's supposed to come up. Um, well, T. Adams, no. I mean, seriously, I don't really believe that there's something wrong with them. I just think that we all have different personalities, and we've had different experiences, and some of the people on YouTube who don't like me, it's because I've spoken out about them. So, or maybe they just didn't like me to begin with. I don't know, but I'm just saying. And speaking of, this is the only rainbow or gay or anything clothing that I don't wear. I don't run around with. I've got the little rainbow flag over here and this "Be proud to stand out" for today. I'm not one that runs around the streets going, "Look at me, I'm gay." I just don't do that. That's not me, but it's okay for people to do it. But I just wore this little jacket here in honor of the day. Yeah. And so it's it's just hard. It's hard to be it's not as hard now for kids to come out, I don't believe, but there's still a lot of kids who come out and their parents don't wanna have anything to do with them. It's over, they don't have a home anymore, and, nobody wants to be that way. Welcome, Sassy Patriot. Let's do another song, a different song. Do 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 do. Yay, yay. See, see, see. Roddy, do you want me to send you the link in your email, or are you gonna be able to make it? My daughter acted feminine early in age, but tried to fit in with the side gender. Yes. Oh. Oh, that's great that she was able to uh transform, or what is it? That she was able to be herself. Let's just put it like that, because I don't want to use the wrong terminology. I have some trans friends. I have this one guy who I've seen like pictures of him when he was growing up, as a girl, and he didn't look like a girl. Like he always looked like a boy and bigger person, and played football, wore the football uniform and everything. Um I've never known him as a girl, but I've only known him in the last 15 years or so, and I have, these friends that I knew from before I moved, and so we're still Facebook friends, and I see some of the struggles, and I still see that from some of my friends and stuff. But yeah, Sassy Patriot, I appreciate your membership. You had a family member who was straight for a couple years, then gay for another couple years, and now she's straight. Yeah, well, that's really sounds more like somebody who's bisexual, but, that I can't label somebody else. That's their job. Some people just date whoever's there, and they don't really identify as one way or the other. I think that's how Anne Heche actually was. I think that she never identified as gay or bi. I think that she just said, "You love who you love," and that's another way to look at it. Um Yeah, just be with who makes you happy in this world where you never know what the day's going to have in store for you. And if you meet somebody and you love them, what if it's considered wrong by people? Not everybody believes the same thing about everybody. I mean, about things. Shut the F up, Donnie. All right, Bart cracks me up. Well, I'm a crackhead. No, I'm not a crackhead. I get you, T. Adams. I appreciate that. But I mean, I know there's people who hate me here, but oh, thanks, Coco. It isn't anybody's business, but it was legally, the sodomy laws, and then you have the inability to be in a. Okay, so when I went back to college and I was starting to kind of come out, during that process of my late 30s, and I had gone back to college, and my degrees in psychology, so I took a lot of those kind of classes, and my minor being in writing. I was also able to use at that point, like I wrote this whole paper about if these walls could talk too. The one of the scenes in there, I did a paper on that other people were going to read and hear in the class. And so, and I did another one about something about being gay, but it was really good for me because it was a way for me to not really be out, but bring the subject up and think about it. And there are so many things that as a single person, you don't get when you're not if you're not married. If you're married, you get all these I don't remember, it was 127, I think, federal laws that affected, people that were married that married people got, and if you were gay, you couldn't have that because you couldn't legally marry. And now the Supreme Court is hinting that they're going to reverse that or at least look at it again, so we may lose the ability to marry. Um, I've never been married to to a woman. We had rings, but we weren't married, and, but then I had to leave her. So, sweet Lulu, welcome to the family. Super chat. Woo! Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Thank you so much, sweet Lulu. Glad you're back on YouTube. I have missed you. I have. Jill. Oh, see? That's great, Heather Leanne. That's what I love to hear. Like a parent when their kids come out and they want to send them to be try to ward that off. Jill, I just call her greedy. Oh, you might be able to recruit me, Barb. I've not had much luck with men. Oh, Lisa. No, I don't want to get a toaster. I don't need a toaster. That was the big joke back in the Ellen days that if you were able to recruit new people to the gay community, you got a free toaster. Your daughter went through a phase. Yeah, and so there are people who experiment, and there are people who are, they know and they actually never even had any kind of sexual relations with anybody of wearing. Now, when I was a kid, I liked to wear. Let me get this real quick. Yeah, I'm gonna yeah, let me get this link real quick for Roddy Mama to come up. Roddy now. Uh just one second. Da, 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 da. Roddy, 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 where are you in my email? There you are. All right, so there we go. Yeah, so I don't now I already forgot where I was. Yeah, Sassy Patriot. I appreciate that there's some moms in here who've had children come out. I think it would be more difficult for someone to have a trans child, especially if the child's still pretty young and you don't really want to start. You don't want to do something that's well taking the drugs and everything. You just want to make sure that they're old enough to know for sure. Uh, you know, you don't hold your wife's hand in public. Oh, yeah, but well, you can get beat up for that. Me? Are you talking about me? My family? No, not really. My family never did accept me. I'm not. Um, I just wasn't. I didn't feel loved. Okay, so I didn't feel loved, and then when I did realize that um, this thing about me that was so different that I felt was what it is, I didn't run and go tell them. In fact, the way I came out to my family officially was, um now I've never had, like, a big coming out, it was just this it's still happening, but it was, I don't know if it was, like, Easter or Christmas, but we all went to, the same Methodist church. My sister worked there, my mother, my father, my, nephew, and my niece all went there, and my, brother-in-law. We all went to this church. They had been there for years. I started going out there for a while, and then, I actually, when I came out, I kinda quit going, because I was just exploring what all that was when I finally came out to myself and started dating. And so my niece she rode to my sister's house with me, and we're going down the road, and she said she wanted to ask me something, and I'm okay. And then she says, "Are you gay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, but I tried not to be." And I start crying and everything. I was like, I didn't want to be, like I'm making excuses for myself And she's like, "Well, why didn't you tell us?" I said, "Because it's not something I want, I just wanna go tell everybody." And then so we get to my sister and brother-in-law's house, and I go back to where my sister is changing clothes, and I said, "Robin just asked me if I'm gay, and so I'm just gonna, talk to you." And she pushes by me, "I gotta go get lunch." That's how my family, they don't wanna talk about anything. They don't wanna talk about it. So that was the extent of any conversation that I've had with my family about it. And then my aunt, the one day dropped by because I'd had surgery and she brought me a sandwich and I said something about it. And she was like, "Well, you're just confused." So my big coming out story's not really a big deal. Hey, Roddy, welcome. Uh, can, I can't hear you if you're talking. Hello. Hello, Roddy. I hear something. Roddy.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Hey, what's up, girl? Hey, X amount of words. Let me play this while Roddy's getting her mic fixed. Woo! I feel I feel so weird doing that. I just feel like it's really silly, but it's fun. And thank you, X amount of words, for becoming a member. Welcome to the family. And then we've got Anonymous sent a super chat. Happy coming out day. Free mom hugs. Yes, mom hugs are so important. No, I don't get those from I didn't get hugs from my mom anyway, but especially not over being gay. Thank you for that. Yeah, super chats are fun. And I do have a live planned. I do have a live plan tomorrow about what's so wrong with making money on YouTube. I'm working on the thumbnail. Not right this second, but it's right here on my laptop. Thanks, Anonymous. I appreciate you so much. Roddy Mama dropped off. I guess she'll come back in here in a second. Okay, AT, your daughter came out at 16. She was afraid to tell her dad, but I simply told him you either accept it or you lose her. Your choice. He is a macho old school Hispanic, but he came around. CAT, not everybody's gonna accept it. And if you're close, like I'm not close to my parents. So I didn't, but we used to be closer than we are. Not not ever real close, but still I was embarrassed. Like I didn't want to fail my family, but it wasn't my fault. They made me. Uh I see AJ's being mentioned. Oh, there she is. Yeah, everything's good, AJ. We're having a National Coming Out Day. Let me show something while Roddy Mom's getting in here. I've got a couple little videos to show um about Coming Out Day and why it's celebrated and just a second. Let me get this pulled up. Roddy Mama, I'm just come on in whenever you get there. You're still not there. Let's watch this video real quick. This is a very short, a minute video. It's from the Human Rights Campaign. Which if you're one of my members, I posted a picture yesterday of me at a pride event, which I've only been to one I helped put on years ago, and the one that I put the picture up of, I had on my Human Rights Campaign cap, and I had on, was I had Rusty with me, and we were standing in front of a gay pride flag, so, um, that was fun, and let me see this. Okay, Roddy. There's Roddy Mama. Just give me a minute, Roddy. We're gonna watch this video here.
Okay.
Y'all let me know if you can hear this because well, I didn't start it yet. Hold on. Cherokee girl, I'm from the hills and fam, thought I was gay because I wasn't married, was 21 years old. Let's play a little song for that. Yeah, you can be married for you can have kids and be married and everything. Thank you for that. Woo! Yep. Thank you for that, Cherokee girl. Appreciate that. I appreciate you sharing your little bit of your story there. Let me try this again because I wasn't sure if I hit share screen. I wasn't sure if I hit share audio. And now let's watch this. Have to start it, Barb.
Out day.
Whether out to yourself, others,
or are still figuring things out.
We want to remind you that today
and every day, you're valid and we see you.
Coming out in order to live more openly isn't something that you're going to do once or even for a year.
It's a decision that we make every single day of our lives.
Every coming out experience is unique and must be navigated in the way that's most comfortable for the individual if they decide to do so.
Whether it's for the first time ever or the first time today, coming out can be an arduous journey.
But it's also a brave decision to live authentically.
Throughout the process of coming out and living more openly, you can and should be in the driver's seat about when, where, how, and with whom you choose to be open.
If you or someone you know needs help in their coming out experience, the Human Rights Campaign offers helpful resources to help navigate through the coming out journey.
Happy National Coming Out to everyone.
You are loved and we see you.
You are loved and we see you. So there's another video that I want to play here, but let's talk to Roddy because she has been so nice to join me this morning. How are you today,
Hello,
Roddy?
everybody.
Hey.
I'm well. How are you?
Roddy, do you have a coming out story? We didn't talk about what we might talk about together, but do you have, I mean, because I don't really have like this one time I came out, but do you have anything like that?
Yeah, I do. I came out
You
to
wanna
my
share it?
mother. Sure, I came out to my mother, and I didn't think of the day, but it was Father's Day.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I felt terrible afterwards, but it was out. And the rest is history. My father, oh my God, he doesn't even come here to visit me. He comes to visit my wife.
Ah,
True story.
wow. Hi, Baroness.
They're very close.
Oh,
So I apologize to chat. I can't see the chat. I'm outside with the dog right now. So hello, everybody.
yeah. And everybody's glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. And if I miss, if I miss somebody joining or super chat, would y'all please tell me? Tilly's doing yard work. So, Roddy, have you ever had any problems with, I don't know, are you like, when you're out with your wife, do you guys hold hands? Are you affectionate? Or have you ever had anybody like do anything to you or,
We
um,
do on occasion. I think it's just so inbred in us that it's just not accepted everywhere and anywhere. But like if we're at Pride Fest or we're somewhere, specifically St. Pete's, Florida, you know, we're who we are. We don't hide it or anything. But you know, walking through a mall or a store, no, we're not affectionate at all. I do have a funny story. My sister-in-law and my wife had to go to the courthouse to probate their mom's estate. And when they walked in, they said, "Oh, are you here for marriage licenses?"
that's funny.
Oh, yeah, it was comical. And they're sisters. But everyone thinks, I don't know, everybody thinks we're sisters. We actually met in 6th grade. So, and then in 10th grade, we kind of parted ways. She went her way, I went my way. We both married men. And 10 years now, we're back together. And all those years, I used to wonder where, you know, whatever happened to her. I would drive past her old house and I was like, I don't think they still live here. Little did I know the house that I bought, if I would have walked through my woods and down a street, that's where they moved to.
So, you know, you had feelings for her and you like stalked her. I'm just kidding. You follow her, or you know, you knew.
There was something about her. I think I was too young at the time.
Mhm.
I was in 6th grade, so I was too young to be thinking like, you know, anything physical or sexual or anything. but there was definitely a connection there. Um, our connection's so strong. We think things almost at the same time. We can finish one another's sentence. It's it's crazy. I mean, that's how connected we are.
Well, that's awesome. I had growing up, I thought, I always had this thing for these older girls.
Mhm.
Usually they were like 2 to 3 years older than me, and I was always like, well, following them around and writing them these notes, and I thought it was because I didn't like it wasn't sexual in
Right.
at all. There wasn't any of that, but it was this I thought it was because I wasn't getting what I needed from my mother, and I was always searching for that outside
Okay.
of the family, and
Right.
so then after I grew up and started coming out and found out that 2 of those women are gay. So, I mean, that's kinda weird. That was kinda
So
weird
y
to me.
so your gaydar kicked in.
I guess, but I didn't know. Like, I do have gaydar, but I didn't know because, again, I didn't think that I knew that I had issues and was trying to get and it was always, like, these older girls, and one of them another one, I'm not sure if she is or not, but it was just so weird because one of them I wanted to go spend the night with one time, and my mother wouldn't let me, and she's married now to a woman, and we kinda reconnected on Facebook in the last few years, so, yeah, it's just
Well, that's cool. That's how my wife found me, was actually through Facebook.
uh-huh. Hey,
And
Sagacious.
and I didn't even know who she was because she had a married name, and I'm looking at the picture and I'm like, "Oh my god, is that who I think it is?" So, apparently she had tried to contact me a couple times and I didn't even respond to her on Facebook.
Oh,
That's what she says anyway.
that's what she said. That's
No,
what she
I
said.
I believe her. Um, because I probably didn't. Because I probably didn't know who she was.
Right.
Because of the,
Right, and
the different last name. So
you know how people even, back in the day on Facebook could always you can always come in as somebody different like people do here.
right,
And you don't know you just don't on the internet, you just don't know who you're talking to. So, um, I can see why you kinda maybe skipped over that a little bit.
right.
Yeah.
But no, it actually the one that I did respond to was all apologetic. Um, she would understand if I would never want to be a friend with her again, and I couldn't even remember what the heck. I'm like, wait a minute, what is she talking about? So unfortunately, she was living a lot of years of guilt for something really silly. But yeah, here we are today. I love her to death. I couldn't imagine my life without her. She's she's wonderful. She's caring. She's beautiful inside and out. Um,
How long have
in
y'all been together?
10 almost 10 years we've been
Okay.
back. Yeah.
Wow.
So met in 6th grade and yeah. So she took my children in. She raises them as her own. Um, I mean, she's just wonderful. I couldn't ask for anything better. I really
Somebody's
lucked out.
Air Force vet was asking, "What part of the country do you live in?"
I live near Philadelphia. Yeah, I know. I seen Air Force vet had put in um about being gay in the South is harder than being gay in the Northeast.
Well, we think that, maybe it's not, but, being here in the Bible Belt, it's just if you don't follow the Bible exactly and that's also open to interpretation what the Bible says about it, but people who are, strict followers of the Bible, well, supposedly, but they do things that go against the Bible too. So they want to say
Right.
that we're these evil people, but yet we all sin and we all make mistakes and do stupid stuff, but just to marginalize and push us away because we happen to love who we love, that's just to me, that's ridiculous. But I mean, it is I do believe it's worse here in the South, but I could be wrong.
Well, here in the Northeast, ever since they legalized marriage, things have gotten better. Our children's school actually has gay pride flags in each door to the classrooms. It's really awesome. My one of my daughter's best friends is a male, and he goes to cosmetology with her, and now they're buddies. So it's much more accepted in our school district, definitely. I'll drive down the street because we live very close to the schools, and I'll see two girls holding hands walking down the street, and I'm just, to be honest, I'm envious. I'm happy for them, but I'm envious that we couldn't be that way when we were younger, because our
Well,
lives
and
could have been different.
yeah, and exactly. And I spent a lot of years like running from it, not consciously, not consciously, but I ended up with this guy and we did we did the cocaine and stuff, and I almost lost my life. Like
Right.
physically almost lost my life. And then after I was with him, like I didn't want to date anymore. I didn't want to be with anybody. I wanted, and I'm not saying I never dated. I did date a couple of guys, sort of, kind of after that. It wasn't anything, but then I started dating women. So it's hard to hide who you are, no matter who that is,
Right.
and because you happen to be, you fit into this LGBTQ thing umbrella.
Hmm.
Why does that make? I mean, I understand why people don't like it, and but open your eyes and your heart to human beings and the love. And if you are in this, if you are under the umbrella and you are still not out, and I understand if you need to do that when you're ready, because it's not always going to be the easiest thing. So I would never like push anybody to go do it.
Right.
And also you can come out slowly. You can come out to people that are going to trust you. I mean, know that aren't going to that you trust. Like if you have a friend who's part of the community, you could start there. That's a way to do it. Just however, I just know that it's very freeing to your whole being once you are able to say, "This is who I am." I'm not saying
Right.
it's going to always be easy, but it is good for your soul.
Right. Well, my father has 5 siblings. My father's the oldest. I'm gay. His second brother, I don't know if anybody is or isn't. His third brother is gay. His sister's daughter is married to a woman. And his youngest sister's son is gay. So we have a lot of it in the family, and I was the first to come out.
Well, good for you. You set it in motion.
Yeah, and apparently I did that here on YouTube too.
Yeah. So one day I was funny that you just mentioned that. I thought of this a minute ago. One day I was watching. Was it in Granny's chat
That I
that
came
you came?
out?
Uh-huh.
No, it was Lycons.
Oh, okay. So, well, I didn't realize that's where it was. But so one time, she posted that in a chat, and I hadn't come out yet on here.
Mhm.
But my thing was, I almost came out right then because I was like, "Oh wow, yeah, me too,"
That's
and
cool.
yeah, and I appreciate that. And so you helped, even if you just helped me just a little bit, because I didn't come out right then on here. I mean, I've been out,
Right.
but to come on to have my channel and to not be able, when you're trying to hide, like when you're in a relationship with a woman and you're a woman and you're talking to people who you're not out to, and you're trying to use these, well, my friend, my roommate, my, you trying to talk around the truth, and it's I hate it because I'm not a lying type of person. There are
Right.
pathological liars and there are people who don't lie. I mean, yes, of course you misspeak. Sometimes you tell white lies, but as far as just making shit up, mm-mm.
Right.
And so anyway, yeah, you're
Yeah,
afraid of losing
it is
people, Air
awkward.
Force vet.
It is awkward to, say my roommate, my this, my that.
Mhm.
I fortunately never really had to say that, but I know others have.
The Fritzy, do you think batting the other way is being pushed in people's faces too much to be fair? No, I don't think it's being pushed in people's faces. If maybe I don't know, maybe I don't see what you're seeing, the Fritz. I'm not sure how you say your name. But I do know that there are a lot of, TVs. I don't know about a lot of movies because I don't watch a lot of movies anymore, but it there are a lot of same-sex couples and trans couples and um, the whole LGBTQ umbrella on YouTube. I mean, not on YouTube, on TV shows I watch. Is that pushing it in people's faces? It's just showing real life, like as real as a TV show gets. That's some drama TV show. I'm thinking about one of the emergency 911, or it might be one of the other ones that I watch. They're really dumb, but they have these same sex relationships, and people, if people think that's being pushed in their face, it's only because their eyes aren't open, because we're everywhere, y'all. You may have people right now, relatives, you may have friends who are gay, and you don't even know. You don't know, and you love them. And if they came out to you, then you would, then some people wouldn't love them anymore. No, I can't be friends with you anymore. It's that simple, really. Frizzy, or whatever. I'm not sure what your name is, but no, I don't personally think that it's being pushed on anybody.
Well, it's in commercials now too.
Yes, commercials, yes. There's you see a commercial and there's a little girl or a little boy and their two parents are the same sex.
Right.
We didn't have that. It would have helped me to avoid a lot of unhappiness when I did finally come out. I would date whoever. I knew one person who was gay. Like, do you want to go out with me? It was a bad relationship, Um, she's got a lot of mental health mental well, she's mentally ill in a lot of ways, and we had a lot of problems. And then what did I do? I left her and ran to the next person that I knew who was gay. And that's dumb. And if I had been able to approach things in a better way and not have to, oh, I got to find somebody, then maybe I wouldn't have ended up in these. The second one is a raging alcoholic who was driving drunk all the time and coming home and passing out in the carport. And, cars running. I wake up, cars running. I go out there. I open the door and she practically falls out. She, doesn't completely fall out of the car, but falls out. And I'm like, what are you doing? I had bad relationships when I first came out. Yeah, Air Force vet, I wonder if you want to say who's doing that or how you feel that's being done. Your fire engines, for instance, are painted this rainbow thing. Shop front's the same. Oh. Well, the rainbow stuff isn't only for gays and the LGBT community. And also the rainbow flag that I have has been all expanded to include a lot of different, the real flag. If it's now, I don't know. I've never seen a fire engine painted rainbow, but I do know that it was funny because I saw my mother's vehicle one year and she had been going to this, it's a offshoot of Methodist, retreat deal. And their big thing is this rooster and these, rainbows everywhere. They give you all these little stickers and they give you little knick-knack, little crappy stuff. You go to your room. I went through it. Then I sponsored my mother going through. It was just a little religious retreat. And so all this stuff is rainbows. And at that time, I wasn't out yet when I went, and I wasn't really thinking about it. But just because rainbows are on stuff doesn't mean that it's gay oriented. And she had a sticker on her car that was rainbow, and I was just laughing my ass off. I didn't say anything to her, but it was just funny. But it's that pushing it in your face. I mean, was this during June? I don't know where you live or anything, but I know that around where I live and where around in Arkansas, like Eureka Springs, for example, is known as like the gay community of the state, and a lot of the shop fronts will put a gay pride flag up just to show that they're gay friendly because, again, we're in the South and there are people who just, nope, they don't want to have anything to do with you if you're different. It's the same thing that happens to African Americans. It's the same thing that happens to Hispanics. It's the same thing that happens to other people. I'm sorry, Roddy. I'm just trying to answer this question. I
No,
don't
it's fine.
know. I don't know about I don't know. I'm not seeing what you're seeing, the Fritz, but I don't see anything wrong with rainbows. I mean, I think rainbows are in the Bible. You think it's too much? It might be too much. I'm not there. I don't see what you're seeing, so I don't know. I don't believe in uh bashing anything in anybody's face. However, I do believe in recognizing everybody as individual. And if you think it's too much, then you probably don't want to shop at those particular stores or call the fire department. I'm just kidding about that. You can call. I mean, I'm just kidding. I'm being silly. A love story's a love story, Mike. That's so true. I'm a sub. Her saggy. I don't know what that means. What do you think about that, Roddy? Do you think it's too much for it to be on TV and in commercials and on storefronts and stuff? Rainbow color, Jill. Roddy, you still with me?
People can
probably like,
be who they are.
you were muted there, I guess, because
Yeah, I
okay.
was. No, I don't think it's too much.
Who's trying to control who I have here? Oh, they're trying to get rid of you. No, I don't have a problem with this question. Go ahead, Roddy. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're fine. I think the more awareness, the more people are comfortable, and people don't have to live a miserable life in abusive relationships, in just not being able to be who you are, not really genuinely loving the person that you're with. You're only with them because that's what was expected of you. And that's what happened to me and my wife. We both were expected to get married to a guy. That was the expectation then.
There
So,
was no other expectation, right?
no, exactly.
And it wasn't legal to marry. And then they had what were those other things they had where you could domestic partnerships and stuff? People got those. People in Arkansas would go out of state and get stuff like that.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
had
too.
that here.
What are my thoughts on the young children transitioning? If you feel you can, well, I said earlier, I don't know all the medical stuff about that, but there needs to be, okay, so I don't know, because medically I don't know. To me, you wouldn't want a young child to be actually taking any hormones or anything to transition. But in my opinion, if the child is 3 or 4 years old and is wanting their hair a certain way and to wear certain clothes, I think you should allow that. I think a child doesn't need to only play with Barbie dolls if they're a girl and shoot them up pistols and trucks if they're a boy. I remember pretty distinctly as a young child playing with little matchbox cars and stuff on a dirt pile with a family friend. We were just, he's the same age as me, and I loved that. I love being outside and playing and riding my bike, and we played football and I played softball and, we did all this stuff. And so, no, I think that that's a decision that a doctor should make along with the parents and the child. There's probably at some age, I know when you start to get into puberty, that might be the time you'd want to do it. But you need to have, in my opinion, there needs to be a lot of psychological, I don't know, it needs to all be looked at before you go in and start doing anything that could not be undone. A lot of times, well, I'm not going to say that. Hey, Granny, thank you for that. Okay, Roddy, I'm sorry. Let's go ahead. I almost
No,
said
that's okay.
wrong.
As for the children transitioning, they go through extensive psychiatric evaluations.
Uh-huh.
They don't just go and do it. My daughter just shared with me the other day that someone in school's in the process of a transition. So it's not like an overnight thing. Trust me, there's probably some extensive therapy there before anybody would do anything.
You guys, I missed something. I'm so sorry. Jill and Roddy sent me this, and I'm just now looking at it. I'm so sorry, Roddy, to interrupt again.
That's
I
fine.
want to thank you so much, Jill, for the gifted 5 memberships. And it looks like Lisa Hobbs, Tilly, Sherry, Daisy Brown, and Nat A all got one of those. So welcome. Let me play some music for all that. That's Jill. I appreciate you so much, and you lucky people who got one while you were here. Woo! Yay! Super, 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 super. And Roddy, thanks for taking care of me, for sending me that.
You're
I
welcome.
did miss it. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I keep interrupting you.
No, you're fine.
Okay.
But no, I mean, I shared with you in June, we went to a town very close to us. They're very gay friendly, 365 days a year, but they had, Pride Day. And I was so overjoyed seeing all the young people there being themselves. It was wonderful.
Well, when I moved to this town and I was, late 50s, and I'm moving in this new town, started going to a gym and stuff, and I wasn't going to tell all these people. I haven't. And we have it's a very conservative town that I'm in now. I moved from the only more liberal town in Arkansas. Not that the whole town is, but it's more liberal than like where I am now. And I really think that there were some people who had problems with my sexuality, although I don't know that for a fact. But I never came out. I've only come out here to the one friend, I think. Wait, Fritzy, watch for what, Jill? She just started talking about me. Can we get along in the chat, please? Let's not have any fights. I don't know who this person is that's new to me that's asking questions. I don't mind the questions being asked, the ones that if there's something in here, y'all, that's out of line, mods, please just time them out. But right now I'm not seeing that. So again, I don't see everything. Yes, psychological assessments. I didn't know that they did that. So the question was, how would I feel about it? I think it's not my decision to make. I believe that it's up to the families and the doctors. And I know that here in Arkansas, like I said, I mean, there was this big thing where they made it where a child under a certain age could not be treated for anything to do with being trans. And I believe that it's been overturned, at least for now. Our attorney general of our state actually was very thrilled with that outcome. Years ago, my mom brought up how she loves rainbows and said, why do gays have to take the rainbow? She was upset because it felt she couldn't buy anything without public assuming she was gay. You know what? The thing is, the gays didn't take over the rainbows. Like I just said, like my mother had a rainbow sticker on her car because she had been to this retreat. It's called Emmaus, if anybody's here knows about it. It's like a 3-day retreat, and they have a rooster and a little song that they sing, and there's a rainbow, and it's just funny to me. And no, we didn't take over the rainbows. Every time there's a rainbow in the sky, people straight and gay take pictures of it and post it on their Facebook or wherever they do their social media. And well, it's not the gay rainbow. I understand why some people think that, and some people wouldn't dare wear a rainbow because people would think they're gay. But yeah, totally, Mel Mel, no problem. Yeah, Roddy, do you have are you the kind of person who wears a lot of pride stuff, or are you more?
Yes, I do.
You do? Uh-huh. Because I
Mhm.
see I don't. This is the only pride thing that I have, but there's not, I mean, there's nothing wrong with any way you want to be.
Yeah, I have numerous T-shirts that it kind of became more of a collection every June. I find my favorite T-shirt. I even have one Mickey Mouse, and it's all rainbow.
Oh, cute.
So I mean, I find one that I like, and I grab it, or I make it.
Uh-huh.
I'm actually in the process of making some good ones right now. You would like them.
Oh, send me a photo.
I will.
Oh, this guy, Sagacious, he's trolling you here. Oh, thanks, Jill. Yeah, you guys are taking yeah, we're trying to celebrate here. I'm trying to be here for people who maybe aren't out, maybe they have children. I would guess there's probably someone in here who has a child or relative who they think may be part of this community, but not this community on YouTube, but LGBTQ rainbow, I mean, umbrella, under the umbrella. And you probably know, and they were going to come to you someday, and you're going to be like, well, I kind of knew, or you're just waiting on the right opportunity to talk with them. I mean, there's probably somebody in here watching who isn't out, and they're considering what should, how should I come out? What should I come out? And I just want to be here for that. And it's National Coming Out Day. Yes, June is Pride Month, but in fact, the Little Rock Pride Festival is in October every year, which is great because it's cooler in October. But there are people in our state who are, parents of gay, well, people who fit under the umbrella, and they're like, why can't y'all do this in June like all the other people? Well, because they do it in October, kind of around, I don't even know when it is. It's probably coming up soon. But it's just a thing, y'all. Okay,
Yeah,
totally, Mel Mel.
we have one here in Philadelphia in October as well.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
No politics in here other than pride today, please, y'all. I got in trouble the other day when that came up. No, don't do it. Don't do it. Yes, and October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Y'all, there's a holiday, there's something almost every day where people are, this is Mental Health Month, or it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month or day, or it's National Rescue Dog Day. Not today, all that. I'm just saying there's just a lot of that. Yeah, get your mammograms. You bought some Vans with the rainbow? Oh, that's cute. No, I mean, we don't own it. We don't own it. But if you're coming in here to troll today, it's not the day to do it. It's not the day. You got, you'd get yelled at. Who yelled at you?
Nobody's going to take our pride away.
Nope, can't take it. And there's no way anybody could change me. I'm not going to not be gay because I knew I had something different when I was growing up. So
I did too.
yeah, and you just have this, you just know. And so that's why when people say, well, there's this little child that's, that thinks they're a boy and they have female parts. Did y'all know that people are born with, sometimes they're born with both? And sometimes parents make the decision for that child when they're born. And sometimes that decision didn't work for them. I mean, I'm not saying that's every trans person, but it's part of our world that happens. Am I the
Granny,
only one that's heard of that?
Granny, you can still get rainbow Crocs.
You almost bought some and you regret it not? You regret not getting them? Yeah. Um, it's just not something that I always want to broadcast that I'm gay, and I'm in this conservative place now, and I don't know. Y'all, this is a little bit off topic, but it just popped into my head because this particular young lady is bisexual. She recently got married, and her married to a man, and she got pregnant, and they got pregnant, and so yeah, that's Blossom. That's what I'm saying, and she went to this yard sale thing, some kind of church sale, and she's goth. She's all into this goth stuff. She just became a nurse. She's working full time as a nurse, but she's starting to gather in things for her, not only maternity clothes, but also getting ready to have this baby. And she goes to this church sale, and these women pull her to the side and start grilling her about not living her life correctly because of the way she was dressed in all black, and because she's about to have this baby and she needs to do this and she needs to do that. And she called her mother, who I also know, hysterical. Please come get me. And her mother's like, are you okay? Is the baby okay? I'm not going to say the husband's name. Is he okay? And she's like, yes, I just need you to come get me. I love this girl. They used to come to a class I taught, fitness class I taught. That's how I know them. There you go, Air Force vet. But you don't go around and say you're straight.
Almost Famous, I'm sorry for your loss.
Oh, I'm sorry. I skipped. What did we have here? Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, and there was this little boy, my sister and a lot of people at the church, the same church that I was telling y'all about, who thought, not the church, the church I went to. Anyway, that were we all thought that this little boy was gay, and he's not. He grew up and he changed, and he's not. But little boys can be effeminate, and little girls can be tomboys. I was a tomboy, but yeah, just a life story, Almost Famous. But I am sorry for your loss. Okay.
Sorry to hear that, Air Force vet. That stinks. I had say my past life is how I refer to it. I was the only female that worked for the company, and I could outdo the men. And at first I was afraid to come out to them. And then one day I just said, screw it. And everybody just totally accepted me.
That's great. I mean, when you get that acceptance is when it's great. When you tell somebody and they don't change one bit how they treat you, a friend, like I said, I came out to one friend here and it was like no change whatsoever. You don't come out to try to get, like I don't want anybody to ever feel sorry for me or anything like that. So it wouldn't be for that. My whole thing is I just want to be 100% me. And I said that when I came out here in June on my channel, because I don't like to talk around stuff, and it's just part of who I am. And I know that there's at least one person who has been helped by me doing that, who, I got an email from. So I know that I have helped at least one person with being who I am 100% on here about being gay and stuff. So it's important that we who have come through this are able to stand up and be strong and be there for the people coming up behind us, no matter if it's because you're gay or you're, I don't know, whatever it is, or you've had a loss or you don't feel loved. We come before other people. And well, if you're older than me, then I could still help you, but you know what I'm saying?
Well, I've helped a lot of people too. One was you.
Yes.
And then several people in chat had shared with me that they have a child who is under the umbrella of family. So that made me feel good. Now those people can talk to me, and we have something in common. I mean, they're not gay, but they have a child that is.
Uh-huh. And so so as an out person, you can be somebody that people will come to and ask you questions, and you don't even have to be like running around waving your rainbow flags and stuff like that. People, you're out. They know you. They watch you. Maybe we get watched closer. I don't know, more closely. I just combined two words. Maybe we do. Maybe people are just waiting for us to say the wrong thing, or you know, but we're all just human beings, and human beings.
That's all we are. We're no different. We just happen to love somebody who has the same sexual parts.
When I was gradually coming out, I was working for this couple that I knew from church who had hired me after all the drug stuff. Um, I basically started over with a very low paying job and work my way up for them. But I remember I worked my way up, and there were 3 offices, and I ended up having one of the offices to work in, and I had a it was a pretty big boom box. Well, this was in the not 90 mid to late 90s. And so I had this boombox thing that you could put cassette tapes in and listen to, and I listened to music in my office. And I used to listen to the Indigo Girls all the time. I love their harmony, and I love, I don't like their newer stuff as much as I like their older stuff, but I was listening to it. And my boss, who, I was friends with from church too, but still my boss, and she was like, I really like the Indigo Girls. They're lesbians, but I do like their music. And I was just like, what does that got to do with anything? Like, it's just little things like that that you hear when you're like, I was gradually coming out. I never came out to them either. I mean, I never have had that talk with people. And it just kind of took, well, they're lesbians, but I'm like, really? Really? Music's music. Hey, Emily.
Barb, question for you.
Sure.
When you drive around in your neck of the woods, do you notice churches who have the rainbow flag on and they support you coming in?
I would, but I haven't seen one here.
We
Like
have
that.
them. We have them all over here.
I have never seen. I have never seen that at any church here. Um,
Well, to
They're
the audience, start looking at church signs.
but if I did see one, I would be way more apt to go to that church because I would know that they were accepting of people who aren't just like them. And also, like there was this Methodist pastor at this church I went to. It's all the same church. I went there and then I didn't, and then I went back. He was married, had kids and everything, and he's an older man. And I found out later that he liked young boys. I don't know what age. I just know that he liked to hook up with young men. I'm thinking probably like I'm hopeful at least adults. But here was this man, a minister of a church, who people would freak out if anybody knew. I mean, I found out because, well, I'm not going to even go into that, but I just know about it. And now that's gross to me. I mean, that's gross. But friends kicked out of the military for being, yes, you can get kicked out of the military for being gay. Or I don't know if you still can, but you could.
I think they overturned that, didn't they?
I'm not sure. But yeah, we don't have churches in this town now. And when I was still in Little Rock, there are a few churches that are very gay friendly, and there was actually a Methodist church where it became known as the Gay Methodist Church, while the Methodist Church itself doesn't allow anyone who's out. You got to be out though, because if you're in the closet, because the music minister that was a friend of mine was gay, and here he was, leading the music, and and then here's the pastor of the church who was married to a woman and was hooking up with young gay men on the side. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, like the pickle park, not far from my house.
Yep. Yep. So,
I just want to circle back to the church thing. The only reason I brought it up is I just want people to kind of open their eyes. Maybe they just don't look at that church sign because they don't belong to it. They're happy with where they go. Maybe they're not even into religion, whatever the case may be. But just start taking notice to see how many churches are actually accepting people that fall under the rainbow. And I was blessed because both my children were baptized in a church because we were accepted. I was raised Catholic, and I had an abusive husband. I divorced, so there was my number one sin. He threw me down a flight of steps. I lost half my reproductive system. Therefore, I had no choice but to do in vitro fertilization to have my triplets. I went through hell and back, spent my whole life savings to have my kids, but I can't walk into a Catholic church and receive communion even though I was raised it. So how did I sin from another person abusing me?
I don't know like a ton about the Catholic Church, but I do know that's one of the things about you're not supposed to divorce. Hey, Nashville, you're not supposed to
Right.
divorce.
So what I'm saying is all you holy rollers that sit there and say you're this and you're that, and you sit up on this platform and you bully people to death. I mean, you have people crying, you have people fighting, it's totally insane. So take a look at yourself in the mirror. Are you happy with yourself? I personally can say I am. I have a beautiful wife. I have a lovely home. I have 2 that survived a triplet pregnancy. I have one just start driving, and I have a beautiful foster daughter. And I truly believe my daughter gave up her life to make room for me to have my foster daughter. And none of our children have any problems with having 2 moms. You know what? 2 moms is freaking awesome. And I'm sorry, Barb, that you didn't have that experience, but my mom was my rock. My mother-in-law was my mom after my mom passed away. She was also my rock. So these kids are blessed with 2 moms that love them to death. And then you have all these people that are saying F this and F that. This is why I don't come on panels, because I have children in my home. They don't need to hear this nonsense and cutting people down, and it's just ridiculous.
Yeah. Zoot Zen Bootsy says Jesus would want everyone loved if Jesus was real. Sanctimonious folk use religious beliefs to hate things, but that isn't a good God. Good God, God's love. That's what Zoot Zen Bootsy said. That's a unique name. Zoot Zen Bootsy. Welcome. Yeah, Roddy, that's a very touching story, and I almost teared up because the thing with my mother still affects me, y'all. I'm getting really, really, really close to being 62 years old, and I still have an emotional issue with not having the kind of love that Roddy's talking about. And
I'm sorry that you didn't have that.
I mean, I appreciate that, you know, and people be like, I'm sure there's people be like, get over it. I have for the most part, but it's still in me because
You can't get over it.
yeah, otherwise I wouldn't have felt my eyes. You know, I'm very easy to cry. So when people make a joke or make some remark to me about crying, I'm not e-begging or sad fishing or anything like that just because I tear up because I am very sensitive I mean, I can like feel my tear ducts if I just have a thought and that you can't control. Zoots is fine. You can't control, or I can't when that starts to come out. It just does. And anyway, yeah, I'm jealous of Roddy's kids getting to grow up with the two moms that love them to death. You know, I'm envious of people who have close relationships with their parents. Not envious in a way that I'm running around like, ugh, but just, I mean, oh, I wish I could have had that. Yeah, you understand, Amber. Thank you. It's very hurtful, and you know, when I did reach out many years, well, it's only been a few years ago, actually, to give my mother, you know, in a letter, some of my real thoughts and feelings. I wasn't being mean or anything. And I get back from her as a letter saying, we did the best we could with you. And, you know, we loved you. And that's not what I was trying to get.
Well, you
I mean, they
turned
say
out to
they,
a very awesome person.
pardon me?
I said you turned out to be a very awesome person.
Well, thank you, Roddy. I appreciate that. You know, it's just, it was hard. And maybe maybe there was something about me when I was young that they knew I was different too. I don't know, but you know, it's not because I'm gay that they don't like that we don't have a thing together. It's just whatever. Yeah, they do. They do, Ginger. Hey, welcome. Um, your mother didn't come to your wedding. Yeah, Air Force vet. I have a feeling that would be me. Um, that would have been me had I married a woman, which still could happen.
It still could happen.
Yep, it still could. You never know. Me and Roddy might. No, I was kidding. It's funny though too because when somebody knows that you're gay and they'll be like, "Well, I have this friend." Well, it doesn't really work like that. We're not just one or two people roaming around the world like, "I wish I could find somebody." There's a lot of people who fit under the rainbow flag that people wouldn't realize that people you work with, people you um, go to church with, that they're in hiding. They're hiding it from you. They may be out to other people, but yeah. Well, does anybody in chat want to say anything before we head out? I do have another video, but I didn't watch it. It is from last year yeah, I don't know. I didn't watch it. I don't think that we in fact need it. But does anybody like need Air Force vet? I'm sorry for that. I'm sorry that you have the same kind of issues with family. It sounds like at least with the gay stuff that I did.
Yeah,
not too
I'm
hard.
sorry for that too, Air Force vet. Heck, we had my brother-in-law's memorial 2 weekends ago, and his own mother didn't even show up. And he's straight.
Oh,
So
why?
that's yeah.
Yeah, and as a person who didn't have the family relationships that I needed and wanted, um, you know, people don't always understand that. They don't understand that, and I'm not trying to get anybody to understand it. It's just part of who I am, and by sharing it on here, I've had other people say, "Yeah, me too." You know, I'm glad you shared that, and so all I can do with my channel is just, you know, in these kind of live streams is just share my experience, strength, and hope. I know that's more of a 12-step thing, but I've been in the 12-step program before, and I believe in trying to be there for other people and doing the best we can to live our truth and be who we are so that other people around us can be who they are and we can be accepting of them. Does that mean that people who are different from me in certain ways that I want to, open my front door and say, come on in, let's hang out? No, it's not like that. It's just we want to be accepted. If you notice on your screen right there, right across the top, it says acceptance. It's about acceptance. It's about being able to love yourself because you're not constantly fighting with the world over if you're okay or not because of who you are. I mean, can you imagine being I don't know, let's just say you're 20 years old and you're gay and nobody knows and you don't know anybody else who's gay and you don't know what you're going to do. Like what you don't have now, it's different now because you have all these TV shows, you have movies, you have gay shows completely, you have all this stuff, but we didn't have that when we were younger. And so there's people right here today, and this isn't like an altar call or anything. I started to sound like I was a preacher out there, but there's there's people here today who aren't able to be 100% who they are for whatever reason. And I just want you to know that there are people who support you and there are people who you can talk to, and don't hold that in to where it affects your life in a negative way, whether it's being gay or anything else. Yeah, it's just there are loving, compassionate people. There are people who aren't going to throw your stuff out to the world and try to turn everybody against you and do all that stuff. There are people here who will support you, and I will support people. I can't be this huge support to a whole bunch of people who, if a bunch of people came to me today and, well, I need this and I need that and I need to talk to you for an hour. I don't have that kind of time to do that with a whole bunch of people, but I can be here for you. I can be a sounding board. I'm sure Roddy would be able to do the same thing, or I shouldn't speak for Roddy, but I think that there are people who you can turn to. And again, because people flash into my mind who I know don't like me. No, I'm not perfect. I'm not sitting here being like I'm perfect. But your mother passed away. I'm going to be really sad when my parents pass away, but I've tried, especially with my mother, like we don't talk. I've tried. I tried and tried and tried and tried. And finally I just said, okay, I'll quit bothering you, So anyway, I just want y'all to know that we're here, that I'm here, my channel's here. If you want to chat with me about anything about coming out or anything else, I believe that people who email me would tell you that I do respond. It may not be, I may get a email this long and respond with a few words because sometimes that's all I have to say at the moment. Maybe I'm in the middle of something, but I try to do my best to at least respond to everybody. And I appreciate your emails, and I appreciate that people trust me enough to send me things about themselves that maybe they didn't want to share with other people. And I want you to know that I'm not going to, out you or do anything like that. No one was born to be made to feel unhappy. No one should feel it's okay to hurt somebody because they have a different preference. Your love for you, Barb. Thank you, Holly. Thank you. Roddy, do you have
That's so
anything else?
true.
Do you have anything else you want to add?
No, I was just
Okay.
here to support you and
Yeah, and I
it
appreciate you telling your story.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And now that my avatar is pretty big, that is my dog.
That's a beautiful dog.
She's gorgeous.
What's her name?
I won't say.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say maybe.
No, I don't disclose her name. She's a service dog, so she has a different name when her vest is on. So people don't know her real name.
Clover, you're just now getting here? How much of a stalker are you? Clover, welcome. So yeah, guys, we're gonna wrap this up, and I appreciate everybody who's been here today to, come into a live that maybe not be all that exciting for you, and maybe there's other stuff that could draw you out and everything. But I appreciate you being here and listening to Roddy and I talk about some things that, happened to us. Oh, thank you all, never in my life. Thank you so much. Yeah, again, I'm appreciative. I thank you to all my mods today and everybody who's chatted. Thanks for being polite in my chat. To everybody who has been. Hey, Heather Leanne. Bye, everybody. Again, thank you, Roddy, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.
Bye, everybody.